Good morning, Tradeify Nation, and welcome to another edition of Tradeify TV. It is Tuesday, March 10th, 2026, and it is 60 minutes before the New York opening bell, which is time for us to get you ready for your trading day. We have got a jam-packed week of news. We've got a jam-packed week of war news, of news releases. We've got everything this week at the old Saturday Night Live sketch. This week has everything. So, but before we get into that, we'll get into the calendar. We'll get into the overnight action. We'll get into what we're looking at and what we're looking for today. But first, we have to get our coffee, sit down, relax, and wake up with the Market Wake Up. All right, guys, good morning to everybody. Good morning, everyone in the chat. I see all the usual suspects this morning. I see Miss Cassie, Leia. I see Agung, welcome. Cheesy Balls, good morning, sir. Triggs, good morning. JD, good morning. Boy, it is a good morning. The weather's great here in the greater St. Louis metropolitan area. Paul, Chris, good morning. It's already 62, supposed to get up to 80 today. So first time I have to kick on that AC. Got a good market to trade today. Got a hockey game tonight. It's a good day, guys. So hopefully everybody's feeling good. I know there's at least around here in the Midwest, there's a little bit of a cold flu going on. So if you've got that, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're able to rest up a little bit today. But the markets do not rest. And so let's get into what we have on tap for this week. We talked a little bit about it yesterday with Dunk. But today we have existing home sales coming in about 30 minutes after the New York Open, 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern. So stay tuned for that. Might be, I don't know, it's going to be a huge market mover. It's certainly pretty far down on the list of things that the markets are going to be concerned about with a major Middle Eastern conflict going on, so we'll pay attention to that. But it might be, if you're in a trade at that top of the after the first 30 minutes of the New York Open, just be careful, be aware. You could see an NQ swipe of 20, 30, 40 points, or an ATR swipe or something. So just be careful with that. I don't know that it's going to have one of those effects where it rallies or drops the market over the course of multiple hours of the day. But again, just be aware of it if you're in a trade or thinking about getting into a trade at 10 o'clock Eastern. Let's see, we got Mickey Mushroom, USMC retired. Good morning. Just joined Tradeify. Well, welcome to the family, sir or ma'am. Make sure you continue to tune into Tradeify TV all day. We've got 8 hours every New York session. We've got guests. We've got a whole lot going on today, guys. Very, very excited to be with you today. SMB, good morning. Thank you, Leia. We appreciate your kind comments every day. So tomorrow, guys, we have CPI, inflation rate, core inflation rate, month over month, year over year. Have a ton going on. This is, for all you degens that love to full port the CPI, tomorrow is your day. Then we have building permits and housing starts on Thursday. So between today and Thursday, we're going to get a pretty good glimpse inside the U.S. Home market, and so that'll. For those of us that are maybe looking for a home, or those of us that newly bought a home, or maybe hopefully finding a home sometime in the next 10 years, these are the numbers you're going to want to pay attention to. And then Friday, guys, we have core PCE price index, we have durable goods, we have GDP growth, personal income, personal spendings, JOLTS job openings, Michigan consumer sentiment. Holy cow. So we have a ton of economic data this week. And of course, all of this is in the shadow and in the background of the continued war in Iran, which the president said during his press conference yesterday is pretty much complete. Whether that's the case or not, whether that's we're beginning to wind down, or whether that becomes the mission accomplished George W. moment for those of us old enough to remember that. Time will tell, right? We'll see what today brings, what tomorrow brings, and what just a couple days ago we were hearing from pretty reliable sources that the U.S. and Iran were planning basically a 3 to 6 month engagement. I think there was some negative reaction to some of them floating the boots on the ground scenario. So hopefully that ends up not happening, and we can get back in control of the markets without having to worry about a lot of overnight risk due to the war in Iran. Okay, now let's break down the charts here, guys. So I already have my zones up here in the NQ because I put them out on Twitter this morning. So let's look at the overnight, guys. So yesterday we had a very, very strong power hour candle. Took us to our new short-term swing high up here at 25,057. And since then, guys, we've been a little bit range bound. Now it's a pretty good size range from about 24,850 up here to about 25,150. But we've been back and forth, up and down a little bit in the last 3 hours. Or excuse me, the last 5 hours, we've put up a multi-wick rejection of the 25,100 level, and we've dropped down back below 25,000. For that reason, 25,100 is sort of my dividing line between a neutral bias and a bullish bias. I do think if we rally back up to this level, and first hour rallies have definitely been the order of the day in the NQ over the course since the Iran war has started. Katie, good morning. Let's see, anybody else? Okay, no, just trying to say good morning to everybody because I know I don't always get a chance to check in with the chat depending on how much we have going on. So I want to make sure I'm saying good morning. Yes, Joey says holy. I prefer the old Harry Carey holy cow. So 24,850 to 24,830 is sort of my dividing line on the downside. I think we could really see if we break below this zone in this low that we set in the Asian trading session. I think we could see accelerated down action or accelerated bearish action down all the way to 24,500. We'll see if that happens. Doubt we get it today, but stranger things have happened. Now, again, guys, I want to talk just a second about bias for those of you that are new, because I've seen some new names in the chat for the last couple of days. First of all, if you're new, welcome. If it's your first time watching Tradeify TV, make sure you let us know that in the chat so that we can acknowledge you. And so I always get asked when I do zones like this, so Matt, you're only going to take bullish trades in the bullish zone. You're only going to take bearish trades in the bearish zone. Now, that's not necessarily the case. If we were to pop back up here to 25,100 and start to show signs of another selling wick, I have no problem taking a short up there. But if I'm taking a short in a bullish zone or a long in a bearish zone, I'm going to be a little smaller position size, and I'm playing for smaller wins. And I'm just going to give an example here. I'm not saying these exact numbers, but I may play 5 micros and playing for 25 or 30 points, where if I get a bullish trade in a bullish zone, I may be 1 mini or 2 minis, depending on the overall ATR and the overall market action. And I'm going to be playing for 40 or 50 handles, and I'm going to give my stop loss a little more room. So playing for a little bigger wins when your hourly bias lines up with the trade that you're looking at on the 5-minute chart. So again, you guys know I look at the 4 hour for sort of longer term areas. I look at the 1 hour for my hourly bias, and then I drop down to the 5-minute for potential entries. Let's look at the ES here, guys. ES, look, even a cleaner chart here on the ES, guys. And if we were to design our zones, you can see, and I've had this 63 or 67, 63 line up here for quite some time. You see what an important level that is. On macro level, it has been for quite some time. So we got a neutral zone here. We're going to put in our, probably go up to 68.80 on this, and this would be our potential bullish zone. And pretty much, I would say, guys, all the way down to our swing low, we have or near our swing low, we have the potential for a bearish zone. So this is what we're looking at here on the ES. Really want to see an accelerate. Again, guys, when we get into these zones, what we really want to see is accelerated action in that direction, right? So we get down to about 67, 63, 67, 60. I want to see the seller step in and take control. I want to see the bear step in and take control. We want to see bigger orders. We want to see more volume. We want to see.
Coach, I'm so tired. Where's ADHD with the mouse clicks? I actually do have ADHD. Not ADHD, but I don't know. STJ by Sean Lee. Timmy, do you take trend? Nah. I'm talking about Tim. That motherfucker. What? Get energy drink? I look he should. Am I retarded or Tim lost one trade night? You're retarded. Sorry. The camera's on 0.5x zoom. It looks like the zoom is different. Is it normal like this? Nah, you're tripping, bro. You should be fine, bro. You should be fine. How you identify which highs and lows to mark off of? You just go on the hourly and just look at your swing points. For example, this is a high. Alright, so fuck, I'm actually so tired. So this is a high. This is a high. This is a high. This is a high. So I'm just going on the hourly. I'm just marking out my highs. I have a big ass boner right now. Don't think we should take advice from Timmy. Well, I mean, my advice I'm giving you of what a fucking high is. This is a high. This is a high. This is a high. Am I fucking lying? Are these not highs? Are these not highs? Am I wrong on that? Am I fucking wrong? Is this not a high? This not a high? This not a high? Am I fucking wrong? Is this not a low? This isn't low. This. Am I wrong? Like, guys, you guys are just retarded. Focus on oil. Go focus on oil. Let me play some music. Oh. Ignore chat. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't even cash out on you guys. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I do not feel like getting fucking copyrights right now. So, yeah, I guess he's not the fucking move. Okay, let's go back to YouTube. Make you a little bastard. Let's see it, man. We gotta figure this shit out. We're gonna be fucking done. Oh, ICT, come on now. What the fuck?
So anyway, I was talking all the way until I just tweeted to see if you guys could still hear me. So apparently, they didn't like me talking about what I was talking about. So I already know people are reporting this and reporting that. Okay, it is what it is, but it's uncanny how every time I start talking about the taboo topics, there's always a connection issue. There's always some kind of a disruption. And I literally had one of the best conversations, and it's not recorded because it killed the whole thing. I talked about my upbringing. I talked about what led me to be where I am, and why I'm who I am, and my faith, and also where we're going. So I got emotional. I got that off my chest, which feels really, really good. I felt clean then. But It's always very uncomfortable whenever I do this, and it kind of like takes the momentum, the fever or passion from it, because I've already disconnected from the need to do it, because I've already said it, I've already spoke it. It's out of me. So I'm content now. But I kind of like want to talk a little bit about the things that I'm sure they won't disrupt. If they disrupt me now, then it is what it is. But I talked about excellence. For some of you think excellence is for you to get funded and paid out, and that would be that's the defining moment for you being successful, or the destination of excellence. And what happens many times is, and I'm sure if you're being honest with me, if we were together in a room where no one else can hear you or see you, the destination that you have in mind is really being publicly accepted as successful. Because I tearfully recanted the events of me losing my grandfather and my first wife, and how trading was very difficult for me in the beginning. And I lost more money than most of you will ever make. And I talked about the difficulties of, blowing accounts and thinking I had it figured out, and then changing and tweaking it, and then regretting having done all those things. Many of you have asked by email. You have mentioned in the comment section of my videos that I can see, but because many of them are very heartfelt, respect given to me, they're from me. Okay, those messages are for me. And yes, the comment section is open, but I have it for review. So I see all of your comments. I see some of your comments that always have some kind of question at the beginning of it, and then there's some kind of appreciation saying thank you so much for what you do. And a lot of those posts, just like when I use my private mentorship group, like I don't make videos for them. And anybody that's online saying I'm doing a Telegram mentorship, or I'm teaching this and making videos, or I'm giving signals out, that's all fake. That's not me. My older students have a connection with me where they can ask me questions. Many times, the lectures and the discussions and the points that I was making in the Twitter space that just got disconnected a little bit earlier. Yes, again, I talked the entire time. I'm not tired. I'm content. But it's not going to have the same energy. But I'll try my best to try to pull out the salient points. But I use my private students because I'm obligated to them. The questions that they ask, many times when I talk or teach or refer to things on YouTube, I'm addressing their concerns. By default, many of your questions that you wish you would ask, you'll find the answers to them if you just simply go through the content. So one of the questions that pop up a lot is, how did I figure all this stuff out? Where did ICP come from? What is the origin story? And in the 90s, there was many times where I thought I had figured it all out. And 3 years, maybe almost 3.5 years, I had it. And then I started making really serious, changes to certain things, thinking I would improve what I've already arrived at, and it wasn't able to hold up. And when I would push the accounts real hard to try to make them generate a lot more, it would crash and burn. So I had to go back to what I had already found was what you all knew now. Is all my, these are all my smart money concepts. These things that I divulge today, since 2016, I never really released them to anybody. It was just guarded. I did teach trading. I did teach setups and things and how to trade with retail concepts. But I was trying to build up the courage to share more things along the way that I didn't feel comfortable sharing. So I'm not sure where you are in your time with me and what experiences you've had in terms of when I talk about how I started, how I got to understanding all this stuff. And I really wish the Lord would have let this part of the previous Twitter space make its way out, but apparently it didn't. So I'm a little disheartened because I felt so good being open about what I said. And I was wanting to do a roll call to see how many of you were there, because I did talk about the Bible. I did talk about the scripture. I did talk about the end times. I did talk about a rapture. I talked about how I turned to my faith in God that guided me here. And I talked about hearing the voice of God and differentiating that from your conscience. Because there is an internal voice all of us have, and that's your conscience. And it's usually the same voice that you hear right before you press the button to get into a trade. That's usually when you're hearing your conscience talk to you. You know this isn't the right thing to do right now. You know you shouldn't be trading with that many contracts. You know you're trading ahead of the signal, or the setup is not really there. So you shouldn't be doing this, but you still go ahead and recklessly plunge ahead, right? That voice, we're not going to talk about that voice. We're going to talk about something else. I'm going to talk again. I'm going to attempt to, and if you disconnect me, then it is what it is. You'll just have to see it in the book, because I'll include it there too. Oh, here he is, pitching a book. No, there's some things that if they're going to keep me from saying, I'm not going to keep trying to do it. I'll just put it in a book, and if you're willing to, read it, that's fine. But when I was a teenager, my best friend, who I have known since pre-K, even before kindergarten, he married his wife, who had a uncle who was a pastor of a church. And I'm not the poster boy of Christianity, and I promise you, while faith-based ideas in the Bible and how that relates to trading, from my perspective and how I became who I am, that might not be a topic that you're comfortable listening to. If that's the case, it's probably something that you might want to not listen to. I'm not preaching to you to try to make you feel like going to church, because I don't go to church. But I'm going to probably say some things here that's going to be offensive to some of you. And I'm doing it unapologetically. It's not to be disrespectful. It's not to upset any of you. It's not to challenge any of you. I'm addressing something that many of you have asked me to do. And I said before November I would talk about it. Without God, I would not be where I am. There is one God. He really does exist. He does not exist in a trinity. There is one God. God manifests himself in the flesh, and that is Jesus Christ. He is the Father. When he provided a body to indwell and manifest himself among men to be the sacrifice for us, that makes that role, that manifestation, that office in relationship to mankind, that is the Son of God. No man produced that body, and Mary's egg didn't produce it either. She was just a womb. And in that body was a very Holy Spirit. So just like I am Michael, I am ICT, I am the husband of my wife, I am the father of my children, I am the best friend of Sean, who I mentioned moments ago. I'm one person. And God made us in his image. You are a student of mine. You are also a spouse, a friend, a sibling. You're all those things. But how many does it take to do that? Just you. And God is just that. He is the Father. And the Bible talks about a still quiet voice. And I heard this voice many times in my life. And I recanted the story in the last Twitter space before I was interrupted. I was a young man, and I was at a friend's house who now has since passed away. His name was Randy Humphreys. He lived on Middle River Road, which was right across the street and 2 doors down from my grandmother's house that doesn't exist anymore. She used to live at 1 Victoria Road. And he got his dad's muzzle loader out. Classic scenario where two kids are playing, one gets their father's gun out, and he points it at my face. Long story short, he backs me up against his living room wall, and I hear a voice over the right, like my right shoulder, audibly. It was not my conscience talking. It was not my inside voice. Like, it wasn't a TV. It wasn't a radio. It was absolutely a male voice, but it wasn't a voice where it was thunderous, like a deep baritone. Um, it was very comfortable hearing it. I trusted it immediately. And what I heard was, pull the door in front of you. Meaning that when my friend, who was playing with his dad's muzzleloader gun, was walking around pointing at me, wasn't saying anything to me, but the look in his eyes, I knew something was wrong. And when he backed me up against the living room door, the wall, it was near his front door, which was open. And the only thing separating the outside and where we were was the storm door glass. But because I was walked up and put against the wall with my back, the door was semi-ajar, like halfway open, halfway closed. So I was in a position where if I reached and grabbed the doorknob, I could do what that voice said, pull the door in front of you. I was no hesitation. As soon as I heard it, I did it. And as soon as my right toe of my tennis shoe connected with the door swinging in front of me, the gun went off. As soon as the gun went off and the blast hit the door bounced off my right tennis shoe and started to open up, and I saw his face. His eyes were white, like he saw a ghost. My legs turned to jelly. I couldn't breathe. I was crying. I was scared to death. I thought I had been blown away. And paint chips hit me in the face. I had paint chips all over my shirt. And all the buckshot that came through the door was on my side of the door. I didn't know this yet because I walked as quickly as I could onto his parents' couch, and he fell back on his chair and was apologizing. I'm sorry, Michael. I didn't know it was loaded. The classic, it's a scenario that, if you have guns, you should have them put in a position where if you have kids, they can't get a hold of them and mess around with them. But the other side of the door looked pretty bad. And once I composed myself, I walked over to the door, pulled the door away from the wall, and I saw all the paint chips on the floor, which matched the same paint chips that were all over my shirt. Not one buckshot made its way to the wall. But when I looked at the side of the door I was on, all the buckshot was right there. And when I put my fingertip to it, not a fingernail to scratch it off, no. Just touching it with my finger, the buckshot would fall out of the door onto the ground in his living room. What do you do with that? Do you write that off as luck? Do you write that off as hearing voices? Some of you think that this is contrived, it's made up, but I swear to God Almighty, it happened. And frankly, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't care if you believe it. These are events that took place in my life, and I know they're mile markers. I know when God dealt with me, and I believe he preserved me then, just like he used my father in a very threatening manner. He forced my wife, not my wife, but my mother, who was planning to abort me. I wasn't supposed to be born. And my father, who is a contract murderer, yes, he's real. His name is Michael Joe Howington. That was my birth name at birth, but my mom got mad at him and changed it to Huddleston. And my name Huddleston shouldn't even be Huddleston. It should be either Howington, which is what it was at birth, or Freed, which is spelled like fried. But because my grandparents had my mom and my uncle before they were married, the laws were back then, whatever the mother's last name was, that's what the child had on their birth certificate. And later on, my grandfather married my grandmother, and then the 3 children after them all had the last name Freed. The Huddleston name was a previous husband that my grandmother had who committed suicide, and she got with my grandfather when they were in the Navy, and then hooking up, got pregnant twice, and a couple miscarriages, and finally he married her. So he made an honest woman of her, and 2 of my aunts and one passed away uncle was like a big brother to me. They had his name Freed. So I'm the first of my name. So I don't have any lineage in Huddleston. I had a member of our community reach out to me with the last name Huddleston saying that our name is this and our name is that. I'm not a Huddleston. Like I have no legacy to that name. I'm the first of my name. I'm the first of my kind, and I shouldn't be that. I wish I would have had the last name Freed. I would be honored to have my grandfather's name, but this so happens I don't. I'm not proud of my biological father because he's a murderer. He's turned his life over to Christ for, I guess, about 15 years now, maybe 12, 15 years. But it's not coming out the same way it did the first time, folks. I'm just thinking how really nice it would have had to have that recorded. But I talked about how, because people ask me, what's your testimony? What was it like? And what is your faith? So this is the part where I'm probably going to be very divisive. And it's not meant to be divisive, but I have to be prepared to give the testimony and the reason why I believe what I believe. You're asking me. If you aren't that person that's asked for these types of discussions, this conversation is not for you. Okay? Because I really don't want to block you for having some kind of comment to me in response to me doing this, because it's clearly not for you to hear then. But for the folks that wanted to know, I'm going to talk about it. But that same voice that I heard that day when I was a teenager, I never really gave it much thought because I was a kid. And it was other instances and times where I had heard that same voice, in times where I almost got hurt, and it instructed me to do certain things to prevent it. It was the same voice. It was a male voice that was not like anybody else I can say it sounds like. Now, if you think about that same conscience that you have, the thing that talks to you like, you better not do this, or you shouldn't say that, or you shouldn't do these things, or don't worry about this, you're overreacting. That's your conscience, and it's usually your own voice in your own head. That's a normal thing. God uses that to talk to us. And when you keep sinning and you keep doing things that are against what he would have you do, that conscience can be seared and you no longer can hear it. I was a young man that was very influenced by people that were doing better than me. My father's mother, my biological father, he did really well. He lived up where I live now in Fallston, Maryland. They were like affluent, but not rich, but they were affluent. Certainly better than anybody else, in my family. So I didn't come from rich, but that inspired me to do well. I wanted to live like them and better. And throughout the years, I thought about things I shouldn't have thought about. And I talked about how I grew up as a child that didn't have my father. And I didn't have a mom that had any kind of real interest in me. She liked hearing that I was a good boy when people would see me in public with her, which was very sparingly. But the idea of having a relationship with my parents, that was not there. So I was left to whatever the movies would instill in me in terms of pursuits in life and what the world should be viewed like. And I didn't want to live a life that felt like I did as a kid. I was a good boy. I didn't try to get into any kind of trouble. But that all changed when I turned 13. Puberty started, becoming a factor, and I was wrestling with levels of testosterone and in an imbalance. Like it's very hard for me to stay on one topic. And the only two topics that I can stay on and do well with, I think, is if I'm watching live price action with you and I'm talking about price, I usually can stay on task with that because it holds my attention. Or if I talk things about like with faith. So if I invite God into the conversation, he usually takes control when my tongue is bridled and I don't usually say the things, even if I have a tendency to want to get off kilter and go on tilt and use languages that I'm not terribly proud of. I generally don't have that problem when he's the topic. So that to me, it's a sign that the Holy Spirit takes control of it. I don't think that you should listen to what I'm going to say and view it as preaching to you. And I'm not doing that. I'm not trying to tell you to join a church because I don't go to a church. I used to go to a church. I used to pay 10% plus 5% in offerings every single week of my gross income. I feel that churches should be taxed because they're treated like businesses. And these pastors are pretending to be celebrities. And if you're going to be a pastor, you should be the meekest one in your community. And you don't see that. You see mega churches, these people dressing in suits that cost more than some used cars. Well, maybe not now because used cars are really expensive. They got their security team in front of them like they're celebrities, like they're presidents or world leaders. And they're hiding buku money in the walls of their church that used to be stadiums for sporting events. And you're not hearing anything from them that addresses sin, how they should conduct themselves. None of those things are ever a factor, but they're bringing in millions of dollars. And I don't have a problem with people making millions of dollars, but when you peddle the word of God and you profit off of that, that's not what it was designed to do. And you're also trying to be a celebrity and you're making lots of money and you're not being taxed. So a 501c should not be permitted for any church. And that's my view on it. I don't have a thing against churches. I have a thing against false prophets and false teachers. And that's what you're seeing right now. So I talked about in the last Twitter space that when people ask me how I came to know all this stuff, I guess you could say it was like a visit. This is going to be really hard for some of you to accept it, but it is what it is. I had several instances where I should have died and didn't. And some of those instances, I have distinct memories of that same voice reassuring me. And it's not my conscience talking. So for some of you, it's usually the foreign folks that the barrier of our language sometimes doesn't communicate it well. And, they're very critical. And that's the people I usually mute. I don't block you, but I'll mute you. So I don't need to see anything from you ever again. But you'll still hear me or see me if I tweet. So just know that after we have this Twitter space, if you feel like you want to say something that's going to be offensive to me because I'm sharing something that you're not entitled to hear, but because I know some of you really want to hear it, I'm going to talk about it. And it is the real secret to why I'm able to do what I'm able to do. When I was younger and I first got into trading, it was a rushed effort because I wanted to become significant. My grandfather had passed away recently, and I was lost. Like my father figure was gone. I watched this big barrel-chested, strong Navy man be consumed by cancer. And I thought he could whip anything. And this invisible thing that I couldn't defeat, and he couldn't defeat, and the doctors couldn't defeat, ate him alive. And while he wasn't my father, to me he was. My wife, my wife left me real shortly after that, and I was pursuing computer science. I wanted to be a systems analyst. I hadn't really started any pursuit in trading. My uncle was constantly hammering on me. My uncle Stan, from the age of 14 going on to 15, he was telling me all the time, richest people in the world trade futures and options, Michael. Get a good job and do that, do that. And I can look back now and hear how God was placing that on me at a young age then. That was the seeds being laid. I wasn't ready for it. And when I went to work for a Jewish family out in Owings Mills, I was working for them as a vendor. I used to fill up soda machines and candy machines and service the coffee machines and cold food machines. I didn't make very much money doing it. I loved doing it, and it made me want to do that as a business. So I wanted to become an entrepreneur when I was a young man as a martial arts instructor. That's where I thought I was going to go. And then when I started lifting weights as a young teenager, I got as big as I could without steroids. And this before I started contemplating taking steroids, I wanted to join the WWF. I had a relationship start with my then first wife. And then once I got married, I just lost the pursuit of exercising and lifting weight and getting bigger. And it just became a pursuit of going to school. And I wanted to, be a systems analyst and do that. And in the process, I'm working as a vendor. So I had too many things going on, and I didn't give my first wife the attention that she needed. So I was always at school, I was always at work, and I was like a hospice nurse when I was home. So very little sleep. So my grandfather wasted away, and then once he passed away, my wife basically said, I want to get out of this situation. I need to start living my life. So I helped her pack, and we got a divorce. So those years after that, I became very reckless. I was a womanizer. I felt like I had to do those things to feel like a man because I was hurting. And when you young men, or even young ladies that are listening, when you see what you're learning from me and you see the people succeeding, you are identifying with success as
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good afternoon, good night. Doesn't matter when you're watching this, it just matters that you are watching. Oh, I gotta get better at coming up with or sticking to the schedule, because not sticking to the schedule this week is really throwing me the fuck off. All right, so on the hourly, you could see NASDAQ. If you guys remember the conversation yesterday, NASDAQ had the potential to go ahead and clear. I could just get this fucking high out of the way, please. Thank you. NASDAQ had the potential to go ahead and sweep this fair value gap, and it did with such ease. With such ease. Now we get to see and figure out where exactly we are for the day. 8, 3, 7. easily. Look at all these lows that price went ahead and made way up. Disgusting, mate. Truly fucking disgusting, mate. I need some coffee, but first I need some water. Ah, wow. Um, the fucking day with bearish 4 hour. It's gonna be. This looks to be the exact same setup as yesterday, where instead of looking out for the highs and this time around, I'd like to say that we might be going short, but this right here really isn't much to go off of. I need my sheet. So I'm looking for equilibrium to the upside. I need swing low, swing high, a low, yeah, the high, but this hasn't closed yet. So we don't necessarily have that to beat a low, but we got 30 minutes left until it does happen. Therefore, let's just see if it's actually get the high. See, price came up, came down. See what it did in NASDAQ. We got a few more minutes left. And low. Oh. Still the same thing. Still very, very early in the day. Mark out equilibrium. In the 4 hour, price wants to come down, disrespect equilibrium, then we know for a certain fact that price isn't looking to go up. I'm gonna be completely fair. I don't know where the market wants to go today. Not a solitary clue on what the fuck it wants to do with itself. Market opens in literally just a minute. This right here really isn't a low to be had. Although we swept it out, I'm looking for price to come down here. Either that, come up here and sweep out the liquidity. If I'm looking for that sell, I want price to come up here and sweep out this liquidity to come back down. But if I'm looking for that buy, I want price to at least touch into here and then we'll shoot straight. The week. We're in a retracement on the week. No clear sign in my opinion, there's no clear sign in which way price wants to go. See this down candle, we see this up down candle, this up candle created a low where this is the high. Now what I don't want to do is get analysis paralysis. Be like, oh, there's too much, because that's a thing. So just gotta sit here and patiently wait. ES is the leading index of the upside? No. At the moment, NASDAQ is. In a higher time frame, take a look to see what price is actually wanting to do. We could see that price broke the high here, creating a break of structure. Now let's see if price then wants to hold that break. But honestly speaking, we haven't gotten a liquidity sweep. Although yes, this is a low, technically, not technically speaking. It's just a low sitting there looming. Not a low that we want to be able to see get taken out. What I really want to see is this low right here be fucked with. I don't want to see this. Why do what consists of a low? A move up and a move down. And then after that, we find the two lowest wicks to determine where the lowest point is. And as you can see, we don't get a low here. We go to the 30-minute, we don't even get a 30-minute low. So why did we mark this out to be the low? Because we do. Sorry, I got you guys pointing in the wrong way. We do need to go ahead and consider this to be the low. Why? Because there is no other low to be had, and this is the lowest candle wick to be had in this time frame. That's not even the fucking high. That's the high. Make sure I didn't make that same goofy ass mistake anywhere else. Do we have news today? We do have no news, but tomorrow we have CPI, and then the data comes out after that. Thursday is on the Planet Claims, Friday. So nothing today. It's more or less just wait to see what happens. We could see that both of these pairs are not even correlating right now. NASDAQ and ES are not even correlating at the moment. One pair is going up, the other pair seems to be going down. So we need this shit to correlate. We might actually have to wait until this candle closes to determine what the fuck we're doing. And as we can see, we might get that break. For our just mark that out so that way when I'm here, I could see that if price does want to come down here, break this 4-hour low, take this out, then there's a high chance that we're going to be we're looking for shorts. A high chance that we're looking for shorts. But at the same time, I need price to get. As you can see, we're very close to this 4-hour low right here. Now, okay, so there's two things that could actually happen. I can't say for a certain fact that it'll come down here and then do all this extra shit that I would like it to do. The possibility is it come down here, sweep out 4-hour low, take out this other liquidity down here, to then seek out highs to the upside that it's making here, 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 and then here, probably at the end of the day. The other option is we go ahead and sweep liquidity, giving us confirmation and continuations to the downside, indicating that we will be wanting to rebalance all this. The hourly, we have this huge ass fair value gap looming to the downside, where right now we are in this fair value gap. So right here, what do we do out of this fair value gap is going to determine what we're going to actually do entirely. Look. All right, so what we do out of this box is essentially what we're going to actually be doing for the day. We disrespect this 1-hour fair value gap, and there's a high likelihood that we're going to go ahead and go short. But if we want to continue, we want to come down, can come back up, come down, come back up into here. Show me price wants to come up, then there's a high probability that price wants to go ahead and take out these highs. But like I said, we have this looming fair value gap to the downside, and along with that, we have this 4-hour. Honestly speaking, what I would like to see done is price. Can I get my shit? What I want to see done is price come up further. I want to see price come up further in, taking out liquidity to the upside. I could have sworn that was there. Must have deleted it on accident. Damn, I think I might have just swallowed a little bit of fluoride. Alright, so as of right now, NASDAQ is the leading charge to the upside. ES is the leading charge to the downside. What I need is liquidity to be swept. Yes, this was swept already. But this is not liquidity. This is not true liquidity. Oh, that's the fluoride right there, baby. That's the fluoride right there. Um, so there's 20 minutes left until 10 o'clock. It does its thing. How much time? We have about 18 minutes left until this candle closure. I think it's just safe to say we wait on the candle closure to see what it does. Yeah. Because if price acts like how it acted yesterday, we're gonna need that 4 hour to do what it need to do. If we're gonna want to see price do what it need to do, we need to actually work with it. But the fucking race car. Put the money on the flow. Same place that I done slept before. Yeah. That song stuck in my head. Real talk. I actually kind of want to listen to it. I'm actually going to listen to it. Ah, you guys can't listen to it. You're not cool enough. You're not cool enough. Show me when you see me that the mother thought that I saw that in the beginning that the beat that let me know. Same place that I don't stop a folk. Where I come from, but not the stuff. Please let me know if it's love. Then let me know. Let me know. If it be that, let me know. It's it that be up there. Let me know. I made a picture that is better. That is God is better. God. Same place that I don't stop the folks. Where I come from, it not to feed the other stuff. Listen, with that he gotta show me where I see me. That I thought that I was driving like I stole the Lamborghini. Just let me know, hey. Just let me know, hey. Just nothing to the change. It's on the part of that to be done. That to be started, baby. Life is crazy. First, I want to be able to see NASDAQ take out this high, in turn, have ES go ahead and want to seek out these lows. That's a bias. If you put your faith in mine, look at this motherfucking grind. Put this money on the flow. Same place that I done slept before. But I come from it, nothing did that. Let me know. If it's love, then let me know. Listen, well, Daddy, gotta show me where you see me. Gotta got the mind that caught it like I stole the Lamborghini. If you did let me know, did be up there, you just check the scope, bitch. These wicks are fucking disgusting. Fucking disgusting. Ordered paper chase and all these dividends. But gotta kick it with you rap guys. I would rather play the backside. But you did it from the motivation or the paper chase and all these dividends. Hey, with the rudder to the trace to the graveyard, try to the block that it down like a race car. Like that the brave heart. You them people that did movie bitch a brave heart. Clack coming. Don't make me fit that threats. I forgot. Don't make me that the bitch had had to smack something. The best. I did not do that big one. That's a big one. How did all right, now we're in manipulation time frame, so let's see exactly what happens. Crack coming. Don't make me have to piss on that snack something. Damn. I would have wanted to get to the go to the back to the back. Over the get it over the throw in the back. Out of the back out of this. But I thought I broke the big brother the motherfucker feature bitch. I think the years the day to get the be in the bag to be. Get it up out of the get it the like back. Rocks on it. Keep it think about it. Lie to your honor. The face won't think about it. I bet it today. But that's the last way. Go to the suck my dick. Hey, that nigga dude, suck my dick. Fuck with this. Lastly, I did something they got to do was take a fucking shot to the Coca-Cola, the Super Bowl. I did the Super Bowl. Right down straight, did the Super Bowl. Where did I get it? Fuck it. The mama shit. Coca-Cola did it. Did the Super Bowl. My life did the Super Bowl. The title trains at the Super Bowl. Damn, I really wish y'all could listen to this music with me. It'd be jamming right now. But I'm having a party all by myself. They're not the fault. They're not the twin. They're the meet that just told your story and the flow. It's a jungle where I'm from. You've tried to searching up the fan. You got my dog and I ain't chose by the boy. Don't ever call me twin. Got the flow. That is the twin. That one, that no need. That just tell the story and. Eat a pot pie, to the top pies, to Okay, so what we have the possibility of doing when we're in this range right now is two things. One of those things is 4 hour, not actually close it. Yeah. We didn't close below the low. But did we sweep liquidity just yet? Not just yet. So what we didn't do just of yet was go ahead and close below this 4 hour. NASDAQ itself still wasn't able to close below the 4 hour, which in turn is going to tell me that we might be able to see volume to the upside after we hit this 4 hour low. I'd have more confidence to say that we were going to go straight to the downside after hitting this 4 hour if we closed below the 4 hour low, because that would have gave me a clear indication. But now That's one thing that could happen. The second thing is price could just come straight down after clearing out these lows. But higher time frames hold higher power. I don't know. I want to see further confirmation. I need to see further confirmation. One confirmation was we didn't inverse this gap. We came right back down on the hourly, and on top of that, we're respecting EQ levels on 4 hour. And we can see the same thing. We jumped up, hit EQ, came down, and then now, and what we're looking to do is do like a break of structure or EQ. We have the fair value gap right here. We have the fair value gap right here that we could use, and then EQ levels. So there's still room to the downside, but price is going to be choppy. Price is going to be choppy. Why? Because there's on higher time frames, there's no clear indication of which way this wants to go. Yes, we did completely come down and respect this gap, or disrespect the gap. I'm sorry, because we treated it as an inverse. But with this very same candlestick, we came back up. Now we're just down here with it. My bias is still bearish for the day, but my bias could be wrong. I could be very wrong about my bias, and that's exactly why we set up for possibilities to present itself. That is not a 4 hour break structure. This is the 4 hour break structure. That's what I want. That's not a 4 hour low. We can't count this candle as the low. The low would have been red and then green, and that's would have been the 4 hour low. So this is just the hourly. I just now noticed that. fuck are we doing with our lives, man? Price action right now. Beyond fucking slow. Beyond fucking slow. I mean, if we're gonna continue in this fashion, I'm just gonna say fuck it. This would be a video on a very good day to not trade. Why? Because price is just moving way too fucking slow, but I have until 11:30 to make some moves. I don't even know if I want to like wait that long. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. What the fuck? 100K. Still a thing. Got my shit. Ugh! Whoa, yeah, them fucking stores. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa, put that shit to rest. Or get the fucking way from me. Look at push the fucking way from me. For me. Let's show that please don't split your story. Keep that same energy. Please don't flip. You were talking all that motherfucking shit, bitch. We see everything. Continue in the list. Keep that same energy. Please don't flip. 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 Keep that same energy. Please don't flip. Talking. Being broke, that's all I got that good for. Man, cause you could be just getting me to give up. No, that's not my fault. But you're crying now. It's gonna always let me look you reaching. But you're lying ass price. I just swiped. It's been 2 years since I looked. But follow the friend that's understood. If you thought the goals are just work ethics a penny. Well, it's just a penny. That's a sad and that to change. Why did that be so right? Pick a side, pick a side. Once you pick it, better stay. You were talking all that motherfucking shit, bitch. We see everyone. We think it been a list. Keep the same energy. Please don't flip. 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 Keep that same energy. Please don't flip. Hell yeah. I'm actually waiting for a confirmation on higher time frames to show me that price wants to go down. Right now, all we really have in the 15-minute is a break of structure. 30-minute is the exact same thing. So we're seems to be waiting on a 15-minute time frame right now to determine on what the fuck this wants to do with its life. And if it wants to continue on fucking about playing with its dick in the corner, let Timmy play with his dick in the corner. I don't give a fuck. Let him play with his wee-wee. I'll go off and make content for the next hour and then wait until 11:30 to start doing some shit that I need to do with my schedule. See that ES is more further down toward this 15-minute low than NASDAQ is. Crack coming. Crack coming. Crack coming. Would be post that dirty bitch, I would have to smack something. Try to get the bitch in the graveyard. Try to bend the block like the times like a race car. Wow. Oh, fucking. I already have a bottle of water. Damn, that coffee dehydrated the shit out of me. I did just listen to this. I knew that. It's such a bop though that it's like why would I want to change it? Because I don't want to get burnt out. Burnout for a song is real for those people that understand it. Like literally, that's decides. Let's see how far your bar's gonna get. That's an ice on this. I'm looking at it. G, that got a beating. I'm gonna eat, little nigga. Running like a track star right off the reboxing. Party for your shorty. Let's listen to something more lively. You know, I love my rap music and all, but house music, that's where it's at. Would you stay if I was your favorite girl? It ain't a word that I'ma give you the world. And none is not the finer things in life. Just sing with me tonight. I'll show you what it's like. That and I not ever mind is yours. It's not my God and I look Christian Dior. It's all you what is life. I know my style and nothing ever's mine is yours. I know my style and I like Christian Dior. No potatoes, baby, what it was guitar. Right here, 15-minute SMT. Now what I want to be able to see is a break of structure on both of these indexes to indicate that we're going to go down. Or to show me that price is looking to go further down. If we don't get if we don't get a break of structure, this SMT isn't completed. closed below the 15-minute low on ES, where NASDAQ, we couldn't even muster the courage to come down and close below it, let alone touch it. I mean, yeah, right now we're touching it, but these two candlesticks, nothing. ES molested the shit out of that. I forgot that I have ads on Spotify. But nonetheless, SMT, I need to see a break of structure. How are you the leading index right now? Explain this to me. You're like at the moment probably, but overall, no. You can clearly see that these two candlesticks again close below the 15-minute, where Nasdaq's two candlesticks right here could refuse to do so. Don't let this manipulation confuse you. Stay true, stay headstrong. That wasn't directed towards you guys, that was directed towards me. Sometimes you just gotta parent yourself into some situations that need to happen. But nonetheless, I need this hour to get hit. I need that hour to get hit. Like, to me, some people would say that this was the liquidity sweep. Cool, but liquidity sweep up, and then we come back down? No, that's not a liquidity sweep. If this was a true liquidity sweep, orders on the higher time frame, and banks and institutionals wouldn't want to just sweep out this low to come up, take out orders here to come back down. That's not what they want to do. They want to be able to take out orders in one foul swoop to then go lower, to buy price back at a lower price, buy the trade back at a lower price, to then send price soaring, depending on how much orders are in there, to the upside, to take out orders on a smaller time frame. So again, we can't let the manipulation confuse us. Right now, we really don't have much to go off of beyond this 15-minute SMT, but after that, we need a break of structure to show that it's completed. If we don't get the break of structure, the SMT is not completed. Newcomers would say, well, we're going, like, the trend is down, Victor. Wouldn't you want to go down with the trend? Yeah, I would like to. I would like to be able to tag along with price and skip down this golden road to the downside, but I need to make sure that price is willing to take that road. If it's not willing to take that path towards that adventure, I don't want to go on it. Why? Because it's too much of a mission for price to want to, for me to tag along with price. It's too much of a mission for me to tag along with price right now and just watch it go up and down. You know, eventually price is gonna drop me off somewhere where I don't want to be and leave me up here where I could have been down here just waiting. Up here is losing money, down here is losing money. Like, it depends. Like, anything can happen. And I'm not okay with the uncertainty. I'm not okay with the uncertainty. I'm proud of the people that actually did take a short within this area. I'm proud of you, but me personally, there's no confluences. I'm not that. This right here is not enough for me. It's just not enough for me. Or the other option is I read market all wrong today, and this was the initial move. That is the other possibility to this. But with my experience, I wouldn't treat this as a low. Yes, I have to mark it out because it's technically a low, but I'm not treating it as a high liquidity. I'm not considering this to be large liquidity pools. This is not like there's no orders there to be had beyond what was originally there prior. If that makes sense. It didn't make sense. Some would use this as a 1 hour low, but I don't use it as a 1 hour low. I would like to see this 1 hour low get taken. Why? Because as you can see, price is not respecting this fucking low. We just came back up into the low. Today might be a very good day on not trading. Figuring it out and I could take you further. Figuring it out and I could take you farther. Darling, but it's more of you. Don't say goodbye. Just I don't want to get it with you. I need to be able to see a break of structure on both sides. I had to have been to the downside, I believe. Got to break a structure. I don't. Break a structure if you're looking for a buy. Swing low. We don't even get a retrace into this just of yet, so I gotta wait for this candlestick to close, and then I need a red candlestick to form in order for me to have a proper EQ level. As of right now, we don't. If I'm looking for the buy, I'm not having a fair value gap to go off of. All this is blocked, so I need an EQ level. Like I'm not comfortable with buys. I'm not comfortable with buys. I'm not. I'm just not comfortable with buys. I'm not like my experience right now is screaming at me. Yeah, I'm not looking for an SM2. I need I need EQ or fair value gap. And we get the fair value gap right here. But if this is a true upsend to the upside, then we're bound to retrace in, which means we need EQ to get filled. Or if it wants to just fly, then it'll fly. But I'm not like me personally, I'm not comfortable with buys. I'm not. There's not higher liquidity being swept on any of the indexes. Like we came down to this 1 hour low down here, but I really don't want to treat this as a fucking low, but I guess I'm gonna have to. I don't want to, but I'm gonna have to. There's no point in me fighting what's actually going on right now. Just go with it. You don't even give me the break, but you don't give me nothing else. Remember what I said about this 1 hour? We come down completely inversing this 1 hour. We're looking for shorts, but if price came back up, completing this cycle up here, then we were looking for longs. So if I'm trading this to be the 1 hour high, 1 hour low, with an SMT divergence to the downside, this didn't have enough orders to go up or go down. This one did. This one filled all the way through. We got to break a structure completing the SMT divergence. We get into break a structure here. We got to break a structure here. Got to break a structure here, confirming the SMT divergence. After that, we're looking to see which index gives us a better entry from here on out. We have a fair value gap right here that it could come back into, but if it comes back into the fair value gap, we could just easily use EQ to determine that retrace and figure out what we're going to do from there on out. We get this fair value gap here. We don't get the fair value gap at all here. To take profit levels now, so that way I'm ready for it just in case. Cookie Monster is setting out to hunt out this cookie. Hunt out this cookie. Well, this cookie was already hunted out. It wants this cookie, it wants this cookie, and possibly this cookie to get this cookie. This is what Cookie Monster is trying to do right now. Our job at this point is to determine where Cookie Monster wants to go next, because we set this monster out loose into the public. Now it's our time to make sure that we capture him. And the only way to capture him is to get up here before he does. If I get a closure out of this fair value gap, inversing it, then we're going into the 1 minute. But if I don't get an inversion, then we're waiting on EQ level. But I really do want to wait on EQ regardless. Oh, excuse me. All right. We could either use a inverse fair value gap. I need to see price close above this to show that price is looking to go further up. This is a continuation trade, or continuation confluence, I'm sorry. I'm just not going to try to push so hard because of how price is looking. You can see it's not really a swift move up, although on the 5-minute it is. Would it be better for me to just take it on the 5? Instead of just... No, I want to get ahead of it. We don't fill the gap inversing it, then I'm looking for a break of structure. But regardless, I need a... We'll get the closure after the break. Unless you give us a retracement. In which case, EQ would be viable. The Nasdaq is the leading charge to the upside, but it did not give me any confirmation to go long. We got the break of structure here, but we don't have fair value gap or EQ to go off of, where ES is giving me all my confluences that I need. So let's just hope it doesn't retrace too bad. We got the closure above. Now let's see if it'll actually respect it. And if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. Nasdaq is the leading charge to the upside right now. Good thing we didn't take that long on Nasdaq, because look at that retracement. Like I said, the only thing that's going to take us out right now is a really deep retracement to the downside. I have to be very careful about this high because once we hit this high, we have the opportunity to come back down and retrace a lot farther to either give us a break of structure to the downside to go further down or jag out. But I anticipate price to come down into retracement pretty deep once we hit this. So I got to be very careful on ES about the fuck I do from there on out. I could either kill the trade here and be satisfied with what I have, or trail my stop once it gets to here. In this instance, trailing the stop might be a better option because once price does come back down after hitting this level, I would be then taken out for more money than I would be losing. So once we hit this, I'll take my stop up to break even, taking myself completely risk-free off the trade. Or see how this isn't really like there isn't a fair value gap right here to go off of, like until like right here. But we have already filled this gap right here with this, so I can't use that as price, as fuel. So I'm gonna mark them out just in case, but I know for a certain fact, with 100% certainty that that will be my take profit. After making a few trades yesterday, made $34,000 off of like a few trades. That is disgusting. That's disgusting. Oh, that's a deep retrace. Sorry, I had to go ahead and ask the maid if she could clean the bathroom. If we don't have the maid come in here every once a week, we have the potential of getting kicked the fuck out. So I don't want that to happen. So Price is refusing to come up to this high, which is only further validating my reasonings to cut here. Nasdaq is the leading index of the upside, but it's struggling to come up to here. It is just struggling. Again, the only thing that's going to take us out is a very, very, very deep retracement to the downside. And that could come into a form of a 5-minute candlestick. So right now, we're in a 1 minute. 1 minute's trying to seek out lower lows to the downside. It's already taken out this order. It's trying to seek out this order. Trying to seek out this order. It's this 5-minute fucking candlestick right now that is doing us in. Or the 1 minute that's doing us in, I'm sorry. That's causing a 5-minute to act up. We just gotta get over this 1-minute retracement that we're in right now. I would have loved to take my trade off of EQ because it is the definite leading index of the upside. But again, there was no continuation confluence in the form of EQ or fair value gap, where here we got the fair value gap, we have the inverse right here. This was the better option for me. This presented all my rules where Nasdaq, although is going up, did not. It cut short on EQ or the continuation trade or the continuation confluence. But I'm telling you, once we hit this high, that's it. I don't see price wanting to do anything more after that. And if it does, cool. But just based on how it's acting now, we have nothing but stacked up cookies all right here for price. Cookie Monster is trying to seek out all these cookies up here. But it's going to want to create more cookies on its way. So as long as we're ahead of Cookie Monster and we're able to capture him by closing the trade and cutting him off and being okay, we'll be fine. Our job would be done. The rest of the traders need to make sure that Cookie Monster is subdued. If we start coming down on Nasdaq, I already have a notification on there. If we come down, then I'm closing the trade because that means Nasdaq probably has the potential to come down further, which means ES is going to follow suit. Oh, we haven't even hit that high yet. But and then, therefore, I'm going to stick with my original bias and move this to break even. So that way I'm not losing $300 on the trade. I'm only going to make 40 out of instead of making the original. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I'm so okay with that. Because then that means if price comes down, it will invalidate my thought process when it comes to the trade, and that's it. But if we continue to go higher up, then we're fine. We hit this high right here, I'm going to trail. But I need to see a break of structure out of this. Jamming out to some music so that way I can control my emotions. No! Okay. I thought that fucking killed my trade entirely. Ah, fuck, dude. That was just gonna be like, gosh. Alright, so we just crossed NASDAQ. Let's see if NASDAQ wants to make that retracement afterwards or if it wants to continue seeking out these highs. Pretty sure that's where my stop it, my take profit is on NASDAQ. Yeah, or ES, I'm sorry. Come on. Yes, come on. NASDAQ is just, come on. NASDAQ is up there with it. You, on the other hand, you're stalling. You know what? Something's telling me to pull the fuck out now. We inverse this gap on NASDAQ, I'll kill the trade. Gotta make sure that that was set. Fucking, like, you're right there. You're literally right there. Come on. Did it pick up the fucking volume from my headphones? I don't know why I didn't kill the trade there. I don't know why I didn't kill the trade there, but okay. That's the trade. That is the trade, ladies and gentlemen. Nice little $800 on the day. Nice little $800 on the day. We can't argue with facts, ladies and gentlemen. We can't argue with facts, ladies and gentlemen. We just can't. We just can't argue with facts. If you guys want to go ahead and learn further information about this, make sure you guys go ahead and sign up for the Discord. The Discord link would be in the bio, but you guys could also type in boot camp to go ahead and get the Discord link personally. I hope that you guys learned a lot from this. Patience is key. Patience is key. Hopefully, you guys understand that. Thank you guys for stopping by. I hope you guys enjoyed everything. I'll catch you guys later on. Bye.